Hello, so friends, you are welcome back to Fanimat YouTube channel. If you are just stopping by for the first time, please do well to subscribe to my channel. Turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload new videos. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to sew a senator top for a little boy. Okay, I already have a video of how to sew the trouser and how to take the measurement in my YouTube channel. I also have a video on this my gorgeous dress already uploaded, the drafting process, the sewing process, and the building process on my YouTube channel. So without further ado, let's get right into the sewing video. So these are my placket, the long one and the short one. So you can see that the short one did not align with the other side. So the wider side will go to the back. So this fabric is placed right side facing me. Okay, so this is right side facing me, and I'm just going to top stitch this down very close to the edge. Note that it is the longer side that is on the wrong side of the fabric. So I'm just going to sew very close to the edge. So this video, I'm not going to fast forward this video too much. I'm just going to fast forward a little bit. Okay, so you can see we are already done with this. I'm going to turn this fabric now over to the wrong side. So now this part you are seeing is the wrong side. I'll open up my placket like so, and I'll make sure that this edge part aligns with the edge of this my 6 inches opening like so. I'll align it together and I'll sew this down by 1/4 of an inch. Please do not make the mistake of sewing 1/2 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so don't forget to back stitch when you're sewing. So once I'm done, I'm going to flip the placket to the right side now. Okay, I just flip to the right side of the fabric. So you can see, now I'm going to shift the sewing like so, and I'm going to top stitch this down. You can see my placket is longer on the upper side. So it's better for your placket to be long so that you can start joining from that side. So make sure your hand is straight when you are doing this. If you are a beginner, please do not rush this process, and make sure you are sewing very close to the end of this placket, very close to the end. So now the end of this placket must align with the center point of your senator top. So that is why you have to iron your fabric before you cut out. So when you press your fabric, it gives you that crease line. So that crease line becomes a guide for us to work with. So now I've gotten to the end. I'm just going to flip my fabric over like so, and I'm going to top stitch this down. So when you are making this placket part, just take it slow. Don't rush it. You can see me taking my time, and I'm not rushing this part, because whatever mistake you make on this part now will definitely show in this front of this outfit. So now I'm going to top stitch this other side down, and I'll make sure it overlap the small placket a little by at least 1/2 of an inch. Okay, once you've gotten over the placket, the small placket by 1/2 of an inch, you can see me cross checking. Just flip your fabric over like so and top stitch down, as you can see. So this keeps the small placket in place. So you can also go ahead and create a little design at this part. It is actually optional, but it gives this a little more strength. So this is me just doing a little design. You can do any design of your choice. So you can see what I did there. So you can see what I have there. You can see what I did. Okay, it's looking good already. So now just trim out your excess placket. So when you are trimming this excess placket out, make sure you place it on top of the smaller one like so, and then you follow the shape of the neckline. Follow the shape of the neckline. Okay, you can see what I have. You can see how neat and clean this is. So I expect your project to be looking clean like so. So now this is the back of my senator that I've cut out, and this is the wrong side facing me, while the front part, I'm placing it down like so with the right side facing me. Please pay attention. Now the wrong side of my facing is facing me. I'm placing these three together and I'm going to merge the shoulders. I'll pin this down so it does not move, and I'll make sure that the other side aligns as well. So let me quickly repeat what I just did. The wrong side of the back senator is facing me, while the right side of the front senator is facing me, and the wrong side of the back facing is facing me. Okay, so that's three things I just mentioned. So now I'm going to top stitch this together. I already have a video of how to cut and sew senator wear on my YouTube channel, but I made that video with a black fabric, and some people said I was too fast when I was making that video. So that is the reason why I am dropping this video, and I'm taking my time, and I'm making sure that this video is not too fast, and I'm making sure that this video is as clear as possible so that you can learn and make your own kiddies outfit. So now we are done top stitching the three. You can see now that the facing now that we placed is going towards the back. You can see. So now we are going to sew down this facing on the armhole part like so all the way round. So when you are sewing this down, just sew like 1/4 inch down. Don't forget we are still going to sew our sleeve, so make sure you are not sewing too much. Now you can see me pinning the center of my outfit, and the crease line I have on the facing and the crease line I have on the outfit is what I am pinning down. Like I said, these crease lines are not for fancy. The crease lines is actually a guide. So you must iron your outfit so that you can get the accurate measurement. Everything you are doing must be accurate. So I'm just top stitching the other side, and we are done with top stitching our facing. So another good reason why we use facing is so that the outfit can have a bit of strength. Okay, so now I'm done with the facing. I'm just top stitching the shoulder part together. I'm top stitching the shoulders together. So I gave this a double top stitching. That double top stitching is also just like fancy, you understand? And not just fancy, it keeps the three. You can see what I did there. It keeps the three outfits you've sewn, it keeps them together. You understand? The front and the back, it holds them together. So now I'm measuring the neckline, okay, so that I'll be double sure of what I want, okay. So I'm sure that my neckline is correct. So in case your neckline is too small,
so when you measure around the neckline,
you can
that the
go
neckline
ahead
is
and
too small,
shaping the
it's not wide
neckline
enough for the size you measure.
from the
What you do
front
is to
part.
just take
Just remove a
quarter of
little,
an inch
like
from
quarter of
this
an inch
point
from the
shoulder
front
like
part,
so.
and you
You
shape it
understand?
like
Don't frame
so.
the back. You don't have any
Don't
business with the back.
touch the
This is the
back
back of the front,
neckline.
this front
You
part.
don't have
But my
any
measurement
business with the
is
back
okay, it's
neckline.
perfect. So
You
now I'll
can
go ahead
only
and
increase from the front part.
use my bias to
So now
turn
I'm sure that my
the piping to
neckline
turn
is
the neckline.
okay and good. So I'm going to use my my piping. Okay, you can see that my piping has a long side and a short side. All this was done in the cutting video. So please watch the cutting video. So I'm just going to fold the beginning part of the piping, and I'll place it like so, very close to the end. You can see the center. So now I'm going to sew this down. In case you have any edge poking out, you can use your screwdriver to push it in. That is the beginning part. So that's what I did there. So now you can see what I'm doing. I'm just basically top stitching very close to the end. So make sure that the other side of this piping is longer than this front part that you can see. So that's the reason why when you top stitch close to the end, you are sure that the top stitch will definitely hold the one underneath it. So now that we have gotten to the end, I'm going to cut a little excess. Please watch. I just cut out a little excess. You can see that. So now I'm going to fold that excess like so, and then I'm going to place it on the neckline, and I'll make sure that it aligns perfectly. Please take your time when you are doing this, most especially if you are a beginner. Take your time. So you can see me bringing my screwdriver and I'm pushing both from behind. You can see I'm pushing the part that is shooting out. I just use the screwdriver to push that in, and I'm going to top stitch it all the way to the end. So once I'm done doing this, you can see it's looking good already, but I'm going to top stitch both the upper part of this neck piping, okay. I'm going to give this a second top stitch. You can see I'm top stitching close to the end of the neckline. So you can leave it like so, and you can also decide to give it to top stitch the middle part. So I'm going to top stitch the middle part, but please, if your hand is not very straight, please ignore this middle part, this middle top stitching. Just ignore it. Okay, you can see some people, they just do only 2 top stitch. You can do 2 double top stitch, you can do 3. It depends on what you like. But if your hand is not very straight yet, I advise you skip this part for now. So you can see what my top stitch looks like. So now that I'm done with that neckline, the next thing I'm going to do is to cut off my excess thread. You don't want your thread dangling. So you can see me merging the neckline together to be sure that everything is straight and looking perfect. I'm going to press down this neckline. You can use a steam iron to do this. If you don't have a steam iron, you can sprinkle a bit of water. But before you iron this neckline, make sure you merge the armhole together. There's a reason for that. Please make sure that your armhole for the front and the armhole for the back merges perfectly before you iron this neckline. Because now, as you can see, the shoulder has dropped. Okay, you can see the joining we have on the shoulder part is falling to the front. So now, when you merge this your armhole perfectly together, as you can see me do, you'll be able to get the perfect shoulder for the outfit. So you can see, giving that part a good press will give you a crease line. So that crease line is also a guide that this is the shoulder. Okay, so you can see that I'm not fast forwarding this video too much because I want you to get all the process. So make sure you iron both the shoulders on the right side and on the left side. Give it a good press and let everything align perfectly. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to notch the actual shoulder. That is, you can see the actual shoulder, not the part that have the double stitching on the shoulder part. Okay, so once you are done notching the shoulders of both sleeve, you can open it up like so and measure the circumference of the sleeve. You can see the circumference of the round armhole. So I'm just going to measure my round armhole circumference. So now I'll be cutting my sleeve and I'll be cutting both sleeve at the same time. So this my fabric now is folded into 4. I'll be cutting a short sleeve for this outfit because this is what I have left. I'm managing the fabric. So I'll be coming down by 2.5 inches and I'll just shaping like so. So I'm using a leftover fabric from my dress to make this for my son. So I noticed that the armhole is not what I want. I've not gotten the actual measurement, so I decided to increase the armhole. So now I'm going to measure again. So I just drew an inverted S on the upper part of this sleeve. So the sleeve length I'm going for is 5 inches. So everything I have on this fabric is about 7.5 inches. Half an inch will go to the sleeve joining, while I'll be using 2 inches to hem the bottom of the sleeve. So I'm just going to give this sleeve a good press. I'll shaping it first. Okay, so I'm removing 1.5 inches. I'll just cut this out. If you don't fold the hem of your sleeve, you might not, the sleeve might not align on that part. So it's better to fold your hem allowance before you cut your sleeve out. Okay, you can also give it a good press before you cut. Okay, so I'm notching the beginning part of the sleeve. So you see all these little things is a guide for us to follow. So I'm going to fold this end like so, and I'll sew this down. You can see I'll fold like so. I'll sew this down on the wrong side. So I'm done sewing this down. The next thing I'm going to do is to merge the sleeve and the armhole together with the notches. Okay, so once I merge that notches together, I'm going to pin down that part and then I'm going to sew. You can see my sleeve aligned perfectly, and I'm going to sew this down using 1/2 inch. So if you're a beginner, please take your time, cross-check your measurement correctly before you cut out. You can see my sleeve aligned perfectly, and I'm going to join the other sleeve as well using the same 1/2 inch. So now that I'm done joining the sleeve, I'm going to mark out my hem allowance for the top. Remember, in the cutting process I made mention that I added 3 inches extra for the hem allowance. So I've marked the 3 inches, and from that 3 inches I'm going up by 5 inches. Okay, so that will be the side opening for this outfit. So I'll replicate the measurement on this other side. You know, we have opening on both sides. So I'm going to mark that down, that opening as well. So let me use a chalk that will be very visible. So remember, I use 1 inch for my seam allowance. So that's the 1 inch I'm marking there. So now I'll be joining from my sleeve all the way down to where that 1 inch ended. So you can see me marking that on the upper part of the sleeve. So that will be my 1 inch, and you can see the way I stopped. Okay, make sure your armhole joining aligns perfectly. So that was what I was checking there. So I'm going to sew my 1 inch and stop on that part as well. Remember that whatever you do on the right side, you have to replicate it on the left side as well. So that's what I'm doing here. Please, if you have watched my video up to this point, please kindly like my video and share with your sew friends. It helps the video to reach more people. So the next thing I'm doing here is I'm folding 1/2 inch down with my iron. I'm using 1/2 inch, folding that down. Please, if you cannot eyeball the 1/2 inch, make sure you mark it down, okay? So after folding the 1/2 inch, I'm now folding by 2.5 inches. So I'm doing this on both the front and the back. So when you press this down before sewing, you are sure of getting an accurate result, okay? So now I'm done sewing this down. As you can see the lines there. The next thing I'm going to do is to give this side seam a good press, and I'll press it down to the hem. Okay, don't forget that the allowance I used is 1 inch. So on the hem part, you can see my opening there. I'm going to press that 1 inch down. Please don't make the mistake of increasing it or reducing it. So once I'm done pressing this down, I'm going to move over to the other side. and I'll do the same thing. I'm going to press this down and I'll move over to my sewing machine and I'll sew like so. You can see the way I am directing my hand. So I'll sew from the hem, I'll move across to the other side, I'll sew till I get to the end and I'll flip my fabric and I'll top stitch again. So I'm doing this on I'm top stitching very close to the end, okay, very close to the end, so you can watch me and see what I'm doing clearly here. So you fold by the 1 inch and I'm top stitching this down. Once I get to that opening part, I'll flip my fabric over and I'll top stitch this. I like to back stitch on the seam, okay, on the seam where have joining. I like to back stitch on that part so that it will give it more strength before I continue to top stitch. So you can see what we've done so far. We are actually done with this senator wear. You can see this is very simple and easy to make. The only thing left now is to fix our button. Okay, sorry, I won't be fixing button on this. I'll be using hook and eye. So I'm just giving this a good press. So that's the reason why I'm fast forwarding this video, this part of the video. I'm just giving this a good press. So I'll be using this press button. So I'll be putting 2, okay. So what you are seeing on the table here, you can see 4, but 2 is actually 1 because you have to press 2 together to give you 1. So this one that has a small stuff on the top, you can see it. You plate that one inside and then you sew it down. While the other one that have hole at the middle will go to the opposite side. Okay, so I'll be skipping this part, so you just use your hand needle to top stitch it down and make sure that when you are sewing this down on this front part that has the placket, make sure that your tacking does not show on the right side. So you can see it. I'm done and stitching this down. So make sure that your stitching does not show on the right side. You can see how clean the placket is looking on this side. Okay. So this is basically how to sew your senator wear from start to finish. And this is the trouser. You can see my son was smiling in this video because he loves his outfit. So this trouser is actually uploaded. The video has been uploaded on my YouTube channel. Kindly watch the video.